It's a modern set hidden object game from Artifex, Mundi, and Brave Giant. That's rare enough that it's worth mentioning, as most of their games skew towards fantasy, historical, or historical fantasy. Even when one is actually set in the modern day, such as Eventide or Enigmatis, steps are quickly taken to move the action into more fantastical, fairy-filled settings. Not so this time. Yes, there's a supernatural twist, although it's hard to classify it as a twist, since the word ghost is right there in the title. But by and large, this is set in the real world, where the player controls a cop attempting to get the bottom of a series of linked murders. But what about the hidden object criteria? Not in the least. These are universally well-designed hidden object scenes from beginning to end. A couple of cases of size cheating, but that's as far as it goes for dodgy design decisions. The game has plenty of hidden object scenes on offer, and they all fit the locations perfectly well. Garbage-strewn crime scenes, bizarre alternate dimensions, a sliced open bag of yard waste. These screens always look just right. There's a full mix of screen types here, from the standard 12:1 screen, through silhouettes, mosaic, construction, and mini-puzzles. The game is never particularly concerned with justifying specific actions in hidden object scenes, but there's such a wide variety of high-quality scenes in the game that it's hard to fault them too intensely. For the first time in a while, I didn't even mind the silhouette screens, as the developers were careful to make sure that the images closely matched the objects they were representing. The only flaw I noticed was the game's habit of indicating that an item was hidden by replacing the pale blue normal outline with a pale green hidden one, as if the color red doesn't exist. Extremely well. The game's narrative is rock solid. All of the puzzles fit into the detective milieu incredibly well. There's evidence collection and comparison, picking locks, fixing fuses, all the standard modern-day experiences. The story is incredibly well-paced, moving to a new location every 15 minutes or so, keeping players hot on the trail of the killer. Even when the story takes a supernatural turn, which I won't spoil here, the game's stakes remain grounded, and the plot never wanders off into tangents or subplots. Even the bonus chapter does a great job of providing a satisfying denouement when the game abruptly stops after the action-packed climax. I was visiting a home for the criminally insane and found this wheelchair sitting outside. Contained in a purse placed on it was a bottle of chloroform, and concealed within the seat was a metal rasp for filing down bars. I suppose I interrupted someone's escape attempt? It's hard to be sure though, since the game never explains any of this. There isn't one, so no. I'm used to Brave Giant's games being well-paced, but this is exceptional even by their standards. Freed from the obligation to explain the rules of a fantasy world, they're able to get players invested into the story right away, making the eventual strange things that crop up seem far more natural and believable by their association with the realistic world of crime investigation. Great hidden object scenes and puzzles squarely nestled in the easy to medium range. This is a perfect game for players wanting to enjoy a solid story without too much frustration or temptation to hit the skip button. I don't know if Brave Giant has any interest in turning this into a series, but they could do a lot worse than another Ghost Files adventure. This review is based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, just click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. See you back here for the next review, but until then, au revoir.